Hi guys, welcome to week 5's maths. This week we're going to be focusing on time. This week's video will have 5 lessons, one for every day. What you'll need to do is watch the lesson for that day, watch me demonstrate, watch my questions, watch my answers, and then you'll have to pause the video and have a go at completing the task yourself. If you're not sure or if you need a reminder, you can always go back and watch the video again or watch me demonstrate to help you. You'll use the PDF document to also see any little links that I've put in to help you with the activities. The main link will be to use the interactive time clock. Enjoy! So let's begin with lesson 1 for Monday. You'll start with a warm-up, pause this video and have a go at skip counting back by 3s. You're going to either start from 45, or you can actually do both, or 345. You may use paper, you may use our amazing tools and use your fingers to keep track. It's up to you. Our learning intention for Monday. So year 4, I can convert between units of time and recall time facts. For example, so these are really important, guys. For knowing 60 seconds is the same as, we know equals means the same as 1 minute, or 60 minutes equals 1 hour. 24 hours is also the same as 1 day. Here we've got our very important time facts that you will need to know off by heart. These are really important and you will need these for year 5, year 6, as well as high school. What I would like you to do is pause this video and have a really good practice at remembering and recalling these facts. You'll use these for this lesson, but you'll also need to recall this. So come back to the video throughout the week and test yourself. See how fast you can say them. See how quick you can remember. You might even try and recall the facts for a family member. Whatever it is that helps you, have a go at remembering these time facts. Let's do some together. So we can see that these time facts, the first one, we need to know that 1 minute is the same as 60 seconds. We also need to know that 1 hour is the same as saying 60 minutes. We know this because there are 60 intervals on our analog clock. From 12 all the way to 12 again, you will have 60 intervals, which are 60 minutes. To reach 1 minute from the 12 back to 12 is also 60 seconds. In 1 day, we have 24 hours. We know this because we've got midnight to midday is 12 hours, and then the other 12 from midday to midnight is another 12 hours. So altogether 24. 1 week is the same as 7 days. I think we're pretty good at that one. We know that we've got 5 school days and 2 weekend days. 5 plus 2 is 7. Our fortnight, it's a tricky one sometimes. A fortnight, guys, is 14 days, so 2 weeks. When we say 1 year, we know it's 12 months, January all the way to December. 1 year is also 52 weeks. 1 year is also 365 days. But that's a full year, not a leap year. When we have a leap year, which happens once every 4 years, we have 366 days. Now, using our time facts from the previous slide, we're going to complete some questions. They'll look like these. So here we've got our first one. It says 2 days equals how many hours? Well, we know that 1 day, using our known facts, sorry, I'm just going to get a bit close now. So we know 1 day is 24 hours. So we'll put 24 here because that is 1 day. But it's asking us, if we look back at the question, it's asking us for 2. So when we've got this, we need to multiply. Or we could do repeated addition. We know 24 plus 24. 24 times 2 equals, so we can do our split. So 2 times 2, because it's in the, is 4. 10's column is 40. 2 times 4 is 8. We have 48. But our answer is not 48. You must remember to use the unit of time, and we need 48 hours. I'm going to just abbreviate it here. 2 hours, our next question, sorry. 2 hours equals how many minutes? Again, using our known facts. So we need to, when we've got questions where it's asking you an amount like this, you generally will find what one of them equals and then multiply. So we need to know how many minutes in one of those hours. So if we have 1 hour, we know it is 60 minutes. But to get 2 hours, we will need to multiply it by 2. We'll double it. So 60 times by 2, ignore my horrible handwriting. So we've got 2 times 6 is 12. And we know it's in the tens column, and so it's 120 because 2 times 0 is 0. There we go. Again, it's not 120. The answer would be 120 minutes. Again, I'll use the abbreviation. Okay, now we've got 4 weeks. How many days? When we look at this, we know that 1 week is 7 days. So we've got 7. To get the 4 weeks, we would need to multiply by 4. Or we could say 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. So our repeated addition. But remember, repeated addition or skip counting is the same as times tables. So 7, 14, 21, 28. Yep, just checking I put up the right number of fingers. All right, 28, and we'll put days. All right, guys, so the next or last question, here we've got 2 years equals how many months? Again, we need to find out 1. So we know 1 year would have 12 months. So we'll put 12 here. 12 multiplied by. And then it says 2 years. So we've got 1 year, the second year, 12 and 12, or 12 times 2, which is 24. Again, we look at the unit and it's months. Okay, so that's our lesson for Monday, guys. You're going to now go to the next slide, answer these questions, showing you're working out. And again, so we'll go through. Here are the questions. So you'll have a go. And of course, we've got our independent practice again. The second slide is optional. You do not need to complete these. Just use the first slide and complete as many questions as you can. And that is it for Monday. Well done, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hi guys, welcome to Tuesday's maths lesson. Let's go through. So we've got our warm-up. You'll pause the video, skip count back by 4s from 45 and or 345. Again, you can skip count back using your fingers, which are amazing tools. And you may use a paper. You might also use some concrete materials, like get some forks. So 45 to keep track of using 4. It's up to you. Whatever works, just have some fun. And I'll see you at the next slide. Okay, guys. Our learning intention for Tuesday. I can use AM and PM notation and solve simple time problems. When it's saying notation, it's basically just saying you can identify AM as times in the morning, PMs after midday. So 12 midnight to 11:59 before midday, we would use the abbreviate or the notation of AM. That's because it is before midday. Then we have PM, so from midday. So I think that's about 1 hour before we go to lunch. You would start using PM all the way until 11:59, almost at midnight, it would be PM. Okay, now here I've got a link. You can use this or type it into your web browser. And this interactive clock, it doesn't look like the one on the screen, but it's an interactive clock. It's the one we use in class as well. This will help you with some questions, and you can also use this to just have some fun and make some times. Okay, so remember, midnight equals 12 AM, midday is 12 PM, AM from midnight until midday, and PM midday until midnight. Now we're going to practice some questions together where we will be using AM, PM and our understanding of time. Our first question, now bear with me because I can't type my answer in, so I'll have to write. And anyways, okay, so write 2:45 AM in words. So using, like how I said, you can say it out loud, and it would be 40. Oh my goodness, what beautiful handwriting I've got. 2:45 AM. But we also see this, and if we use our knowledge of quarter past, quarter to, we know 2:45 AM is the same as saying 2:45. So we could write that as well. So quarter. Oh my goodness, 2:45 AM. Again, wow, what beautiful handwriting, guys. So I apologize. I hope you can read that. If not, we'll see how we go. Okay. Now the next question. It says, if the time is 2:48 AM, how many minutes until 3:05 AM or 3:05? We can use our our analog clock here, and using the intervals and counting by fives will also help you. So if we see 2:48 AM, I'll just mark that on here, and we've got 2:48 would just be about here. We know that when we get to 2:48, we want to get to the nearest 10 or 5. So we've got 2:48. To get to the next main interval is 2 minutes. So let's put that here. We've got 2. Then we can skip count by fives until we reach 3:05. So we've got 5, 10, 15. Because here we go, we've reached, it would be 3 o'clock and then 5 minutes. So we've skip counted, so 5, 10, 15 minutes. So let's put that here, 2 plus the 15 minutes. And then all we need to do is plus this together. So 15 plus 2, we know, is 17. And it's 17 minutes. There we go. And excuse my beautiful handwriting. Okay, next question. We will have questions where we now have to order things. So it might ask you to start from the latest time, or it might start from the earliest. We know earliest would be AM and latest would be PM. Here we've got 3 times, so 3 PM, 8 AM, 12 PM. Again, we can use our clock to remember the order, but we know that it's chronological really. So here, 3 PM we've got PM, so I know it's later. PM again. Oh, 12 PM. Oh, I remember that is midday. So 8 AM is definitely before that. So we'll put 8 AM as our first. And when we're listing, remember we use a comma. So 8 AM, comma. And then we know midday and 3 PM. So we know midday would start here on the clock, guys. And then we can see 3 PM is 3 hours later. So it would be 12 PM, even though it's a larger number, so don't get confused with that. So 12 PM and comma 3 PM. Oh, my beautiful writing. I'm getting better, I have to admit. Okay, next question. It is 10:34 PM. What will the time be in 4 hours? These questions, you're going to use your knowledge of hours. So we know that if 1 hour passes, it will not change the minute intervals. So from 10:34, if we froze time there and an hour passed, it would only become 11:34. It will not be 11 o'clock because that would just take a few minutes. So 60 minutes after 10:34 would be 11:34. So if that's the case, we've got 10:34, 11:34, 12:34, but then after 12, if we look at the clock, it's not 13, but that does go into our 24-hour time, but it will be 1:34. So we would put in 1:34. Now, I want you to notice here. So we had PM, but we passed 12 o'clock. Because we passed 12 o'clock, it is now 1:34 AM. So that's a concept. So again, that's remembering our facts. That 12 PM is midday, 12 AM is midnight. If it was 10:30 PM, 11:30, past that 11:30 PM, the next hour would be 12:30 AM. Okay, guys. So after this video, you're going to now go to your independent practice here. It looks like a lot, but they're pretty simple and straightforward. So here we've got very similar questions to what I just demonstrated before. You'll answer these in your own time throughout the day. Take your time with them. Answer using the intervals, the clock, using your known facts, and also remembering the AM, PM notation, and have fun. Again, the next slide. So this slide is optional, guys. You do not need to complete these, but if you do, that's fantastic as well. Either way, have fun, and I'll see you at tomorrow's lesson. Hi guys, welcome to Wednesday's lesson. Let's go to our learning intention. Oh, no, we're going to warm up. Okay, so when we warm up, guys, this time we're going to skip count back by 5s. So we've got by 5s from 45 and or 345. This one will be a little bit more easy and familiar, so enjoy. Our learning intention. So you should have paused the video when we did our skip counting, by the way. Now I can read and interpret simple timetables, timelines, and calendars. And when we say timetables, I'm not talking about multiplication. This timetable are things like bus timetables, cinema timetables. A timetable basically is when there are times on a physical table like we do in data, and that table will tell you when things are happening, and that will make more sense on the next slide. So today we're only focusing on timetables. So what is a timetable? Here we've got an example. So if you catch the bus, the train, or any public transport really, we've got timetables that tell us where things are, where the bus, say for example, we're using a bus here, so I'll use bus. So where a bus stop might start, a bus route might start from, where the bus stops will be, so the places it will be going, and what time it will reach this destination. So if we have a look on this table, it says, so Redfern to Bondi Junction is the route. So basically this bus will always start from Redfern and it will always end up at Bondi Junction. That's what we take from the heading. Then on the left, we've got these other names here. You might be wondering what these are. So these are the stops the bus will take in between. So in between Redfern and Bondi Junction, it will go through, it will stop at Central, Town Hall, Martin Place, King's Cross, Edgecliff until it reaches Bondi. During this route, we see this first bus. So these, it's very important to read it like this. So we break it down. We go, okay, so this is bus 1 that starts at Redfern at 12:20. It goes to the next stop and following all the way until Bondi Junction. So the 12:20 p.m. bus you would catch if, say, for example, you need to be at Bondi for a lunch at 1 o'clock. It would be ideal for you to catch this bus because it will reach there at 12:38 p.m. We read the next bus as well, so you can see the next bus. Oops, I just drew over it. So the next bus starts at 12:50 and it reaches Bondi at this time. But say if you needed to go to Martin Place for something at 1:10, you would ideally catch this bus because you will reach Martin Place at 1 o'clock. So that is how you would use a timetable. Again, same thing for route 3, but and this is bus 3, but I'm not going to repeat myself again. Okay, so now let's look at our practice question. So here again, we've got another bus timetable, but this time the bus timetable, if you realize, it only has the times of one bus route. So it's only this bus that starts at 10:15 a.m. If we have a look here, it starts at the bus stop called Swords and ends up in Sandy Mount. Okay, so if we have a look, we've got next bus stop is Sentry, Drumcondra, O'Connell Street, Ringsend, and then eventually in Sandy Mount. On this column, we can see the times it takes to reach these destinations. So if you were in the suburb of Drumcondra, you would catch the bus at 10:50. If you were in Ringsend and you need to be there at Sandy Mount, you would catch the bus at 11:10 a.m. Then we've got, and we're not, sorry guys, I forgot to say the heading is what tells us what it is. So bus timetable, very important. Now we can read the question. So it says, how long does it take to get from Swords to Sentry? So here we would look at the time. Sorry, there's a helicopter going past and it's very loud. I hope you can still hear me. So 10:15 to 10:45. Here we would put, we'd use, so let's put it up here. So 10:15. Now to get to 10:35, we're going to count by our 5-minute intervals just like on a clock. So if we had 10:15 and we go by 5 minutes, so 10:15, 10:20, 10:25, 10:30, 10:35, 10:40, whoop, too far, 10:35 it will reach. So we know 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. So it takes 20 minutes from Swords to Sentry. You could also use your actual analog clock to help you with this, guys. The other way is to also use our subtraction. So we could get the 1035 ignore my beautiful handwriting. So 1035 minus 1015. It would be 5 minus 5 is 0. 3 minus 1 is 2. We've got 0 minus 0 and 1 minus 1, which is 0. So here we can see the difference. Oh, I love that maths word, difference. And difference means minus or take away, so 20 minutes. Okay, so there are two options. You can skip count by fives, just like on the intervals of a clock, or you can use your subtraction skills to find the difference. So we have Drumcondra to O'Connell Street. So Drumcondra to O'Connell Street we see is 1055 and 1050. So we find the difference, which is takeaway. We've got 1055 take. We've got 1050 again. So 5 take away 0 is 5. 5 take away 5 is 0. 0 take away 0, 0. 1 take away 0 is 0. So again, we've only got 5-minute difference. So we would put that here. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to leave this one because the video is taking a while. So now we go to how long does it take to get from. So that means we're going backwards. So from Ringsend, or Sentry, oh no we're not, sorry, Sentry to Ringsend. I read that wrong, sorry guys. Okay, so here we've got a longer time. So we have from 10:35 to 11:10. So we'll put the 11:10, take away 10:35. Okay, so let's work out the difference. So it's 0, take the 5 away, we can't do. We go to the neighbor, we knock on his neighbor's door and we say, can you give us a value please? He says, yes, of course. And then we've got the value, we put it over here. So now we've got 10 take 5, which equals 5. 0 take away 5, again we can't do. So we go, neighbor, just like in class guys, give us a value please. He says, here you go. So we've got 10 minus 5 equals 5. Now 0 take away 0, we don't need to go to the neighbor, we can do this. So we put 0 and 1 take away 1 is 0. So we can see the difference between these two times. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you put the longer time or up the top and the shorter time down the bottom, and we've got 55 minutes. Okay, so the same concept, guys. You're finding out the difference by using subtraction. Sometimes we can instantly do it when it's a smaller amount, but really use this strategy of finding the difference to work out your answers. So you'll use this strategy to answer some of the questions in the following slide. Now some of these questions, we can see it says, what time does the Redfern train arrive at Bondi Junction? But it's the 12:20 train, so you would just look at this train, guys, for this question. So make sure you remember that this is the first train, this is the next one, number 2 and number 3, and you read them going downwards, not across. And I think that should be it. Again, the next slide, guys, is optional. Here we've got a cinema timetable, so it's a bit different, but the same concept. So we've got our movies over here, the 4 movies at the cinema. Here is the time that they start, and then they actually give you how long the movie will be. So they don't tell you when it finishes. You're going to work that out. They will tell you that it takes 120 minutes for that deal breaker to finish. We know that's 2 hours, guys. So you would use that to work out what time the movie finishes. Okay, that is all from me today. Again, let me know if you need any help. I'll be on the Google Classroom. Other than that, have fun. See you guys. Hi guys, welcome to lesson for Thursday. So you'll skip, not skip. You will pause the video, guys, to skip count by 6 from 45 and or 345, and then we'll continue to our learning intention. So here, our learning intention. I can read and interpret simple timetables, timelines, and calendars. So today we are only focusing on timelines. And when we think of timelines, it's just like in history, where we log on an actual line just a time. So we'll have a time frame, say if it was just this year, we would have January, February, March, April, all the way until December, and we would put in things that represent different aspects of that time. It could be over many years, so it could be from the year 2000 until the year 2021, and that's when we'd have 21 of those intervals. So timelines are very different. We use them in maths, we use them in history, and we're going to do some activities with that today. So let's have a read. So reading a timeline, just some fun, interesting facts. So timelines show a span of time. They are broken up into equal intervals, so events can be recorded on them. Now here, let's do some practice. So using the timeline of Will's morning, so this is Will's morning, guys, and I apologize for the funny picture. And we're going to answer some questions. It's really straightforward, and I think you guys are going to blitz through this and you will be amazing. So the first question, what time does Will leave for school? If we have a look here, these are our intervals. So we've got 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock, 7:30, all the way until 11. So these are really important. We know that leaving for school we have up here. So he left for school. We look at where it's linked on the timeline and we can see it's at 8:30. And we can actually make the assumption and use our AM PM notation and put it as 8:30 AM because we know that we do not leave for school at 8:30 PM. Even if it's a night class, I doubt it, but let's just make that assumption because he's had breakfast at 7:30, so we can put AM. And what time did Will draw a picture? Again, we look at the timeline, we look at the facts here, or the sequence. So Will got out of bed, had a shower, breakfast, left for school, started school. Here we can see he drew a picture. We follow that line and we can see it stops at the interval of 11. So we would put 11 and again, if you'd like to, using our known facts, we would put AM as the notation. Now the next question. So sometimes you'll have a timetable already, a timeline, sorry, already there for you, and sometimes you'll have to fill in the timeline. So here we've got a blank timeline, and my video is kind of making it difficult for me to see the end of it, so I might, if I need to use it. Can't even move my video. Let's just, oh, here we go. Okay, so here we've got Chi starts online learning at 9. Whoop. Should say 9 AM, guys. I apologize. So let's just put that there. All right, so 9 AM, we would put a line to this interval. Okay, Chi finishes school at 3 p.m. Nice and simple. We look at our intervals on the timeline. We would use our line and be very accurate. Chi sleeps at 7 p.m. Here we go. So this is where our knowledge of AM and PM would be very important. And Chi eats crunch and sip 1 hour after 9 a.m. So we know 9 a.m. is here. 1 hour using our known facts we know would be 10 a.m. So we would put a line, yours will be a lot nicer than mine, just like this. So timelines, guys, really simple, really straightforward, as long as you realize, or if you ever have to create, the intervals are very important. They must be equally spaced and equal in their jump between times. Here we've got one timeline that is in half-an-hour intervals, and here we've got them in 1 hour intervals. Your timeline, labeling it, the name, the title, all of these aspects are very important. So let's go to the next slide. So we can see here your independent practice. You're using Will's morning timeline again to answer these questions in the purple box. Nice and straightforward. And then we've got the timeline for Sally's life. And Sally's life timeline has little hearts. You need to read the hearts and draw a line carefully to the correct interval. Here we've got your independent practice again, but this slide is optional. You've got draw a line to match Tom's activities in April to the timeline. So here we've got the hearts. You'll read the hearts and use a ruler or one of the lines on our doc. And again, create your own timeline and questions for a family member. So this one is a little bit of fun. So you can use paper, a ruler, create your intervals, and create a timeline that could be about your day. It could be a timeline of your life. It could be whatever timeline you'd like. And then you can create some questions for a family member or for yourself. Have fun. And I look forward to seeing you on Friday's lesson. Again, if you need anything, I'm on Google Classroom and you can put a private comment into your doc. Well done so far and see you tomorrow. Hi guys, welcome to Friday's lesson. Our warm-up, again, pause this video and you can skip count by 8s from 45 and from 345. Remember, you can use fingers or toes or your paper or anything that helps you keep on track and have some fun. And I'll see you at the next slide. Okay, so here we have our learning intention. For Year 4, I can read and interpret simple timetables, timelines, and calendars. So again, we're going to focus this time only on calendars. And you're quite familiar with this, so I think it will be great. Calendars. So a calendar is a tool used to mark the passing of time. People of ancient times based their calendars on the most obvious regular events they knew, like the changing of the position of the sun, moon, and stars. These calendars help them figure out when to plant and harvest their crops. So we don't do that in our life right now, but say if you're a farmer in the future, you might. But what we do use calendars for is keeping track of fun things like birthdays, what we're doing throughout the year with school events, with life events. So calendars are very useful and it's really important to know how to use them. So we're going to practice together. It's very important to notice that a calendar will always tell you the month. So here we've got January. It will also tell you the year. Again, very important. So this one is for this year. The next thing that you need to know is that we've got the days of the week. So here we've got Monday all the way to Sunday. But when we read a calendar, you read it across, but you'll start from the first day of the month. it will not always be on a Monday. So you look and I can see that the first day of the month is actually on a Friday. So here, New Year's Day. So calendars will sometimes have things, you put things inside them to tell us of a special event for that day. And you read across, so 2, 3, and we know that January has 31 days and it ends on a Sunday. Using our calendar, now that we can read it, we can actually answer these questions. So on which day of the week is New Year's Day? So this sounds like an event, so I know I have to look for some words. New Year's Day, and there it is. So if we look, New Year's Day, and it's asking day of the week, you read it going upwards. So I can see it is on a Friday, so I'm going to put Friday here. Then how many Thursdays are there in January? So if we have a look here, this one, there is no January day. So we only count 1, 2, 3, and 4. So going down the column. So let's put in 4. The next question. On which date does Sydney Festival start? And again, we look at the words. So here we find, okay, so Sydney Festival starts. We can see it's on the date of the 6th. So we would put 6th of Jan. You might even put the short date, it's the first month. So you might put 6.1.2021. Okay guys, sorry about my beautiful handwriting. Okay, next question. How many Saturdays are there in January? So again, we look at Saturday and we go down the column. So here we see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I hope you've got the idea of calendars now, that you see that when we're focusing on the day, we go down the column. If we're focusing on going in sequence, we would go across, and we read the words to work out what events and when they happen. So that's how you would answer these questions. So if we look at the independent practice, guys, we can see that similar questions, but this time you're focusing just on February. So again, look at the calendar, read the questions, read it going down the column if needed. This is an optional slide, guys, so if you would like to, you can answer the questions for the month of March. If not, that is completely okay. And that is the last of our lessons for the week. So have fun, be patient, catch up on any work that you've missed throughout the week if needed, and I look forward to seeing your work. If you need any help, I'm here on Google and on our Google Classroom, and I can help you there. Other than that, have fun, and I'll speak to you later. Bye guys.